Today, we're diving into the truly surprising and honestly kind of shocking findings from the classic book, The Millionaire Next Door. What if everything you thought you knew about millionaires was wrong? What if the real ones aren't the folks you see on TV? What if they're, well, living right next door to you? Let's find out.
Okay, so first things first, we have to completely tear down the millionaire myth. You know the one I'm talking about. It's this image that's been sold to us for decades, and it's time we see it for what it is. Just take a second. Close your eyes if you want. Picture a millionaire. What car are they driving? What kind of house do they live in? What are they wearing? You got that picture in your head? Good. Hold on to it because we're about to see how it compares to reality.
So on one side, you have the myth, right? It's all about the flash, the luxury cars, the mansions, the designer clothes. But when the authors of this book actually went out and studied real millionaires, what they found was completely different. It wasn't about spending at all. It was all about discipline.
This quote right here, this was the author's first huge aha moment. See, they started their research in all these so-called upscale neighborhoods, thinking, hey, this is where the money's gotta be. But they learned a crucial lesson, and they learned it fast. A high-consumption lifestyle often just hides a pretty low net worth.
And this is where it gets really mind-blowing. This is the core idea of the entire book. It wasn't just that the people who looked rich weren't. It was that the people who were truly wealthy, they looked completely, totally ordinary. They were living in average middle-class neighborhoods.
This leads us right to the heart of the matter, and it's the #1 reason so many people who earn a high income never actually build any lasting security. We've got to understand the critical difference between income and wealth. The book gives us this incredibly simple but powerful definition. Think about it. Your income is what you see on your paycheck, but your wealth, that's what you keep. It's what you invest, what you save, what grows for you over time. The whole game is about accumulation, not spending.
Here's a great way to think about it. A high income, yeah, that can definitely pay for an expensive lifestyle today. But a high net worth, well, that gives you something way more valuable. It gives you the freedom to live comfortably tomorrow without ever needing another paycheck.
You gotta love this. The authors use this fantastic old Texan saying that just perfectly sums up the high-income, low-wealth person. Big hat, no cattle. It's all show and no substance. Someone who looks incredibly impressive on the outside, but doesn't have the real assets to back it all up. And this right here, this is the fundamental trap so many of us fall into. It's this constant battle between instant gratification, looking rich right now, and the delayed gratification it takes to actually become financially independent down the road.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the problem. What's the solution? Let's flip the script and look at the actual habits and behaviors of the people who get this right, the ones who successfully build and keep their wealth.
So through all their research, the authors found a pattern. They pinpointed 7 key habits that were common among most self-made millionaires. We're going to focus on the 3 that are the real game changers. All right, let's break these down. First step, and this is the big one, they consistently live well below their means. This isn't about being cheap, okay? It's about being intentional. It's about creating a buffer that lowers stress and gives you options. Second, their priority is crystal clear. Real financial independence is way more important than showing off a high social status. This is a huge mental shift. It's moving from an external scorecard of what others think to an internal one focused on your own freedom. And third, they are planners. They allocate their time, their energy, and their money with a laser focus on their goals. And check this out. This shows you just how practical this whole frugal thing is. We're not talking about some extreme lifestyle. The typical millionaire they surveyed, they paid under $400 for a suit, under $250 for a watch, and they drove a reliable, often used, American-made car. It's a clear choice, value over status every single time. Now this chart, this might be the most powerful, most hopeful piece of information in the entire book. A staggering 80%, 80 of millionaires in America are first generation. They didn't get a huge inheritance, they built their wealth brick by brick through hard work and discipline. All right, enough about them. Let's make this personal. The book gives us a super simple tool to see how you're doing on your own path to building wealth. So here's a simple rule of thumb from the book to see where you stand. It's just 2 steps. Step 1, take your age and multiply it by your annual pre-tax household income. Got that number? Okay. Step 2, just divide that number by 10. According to the authors, that's what your expected net worth should be for your age and income. Now, the book uses that number to put you in one of two camps. If your actual net worth is double that expected number, you're what they call a prodigious accumulator of wealth, or a PAW for short. But if it's half of that number or even less, you fall into the category of an under-accumulator of wealth, or a UAW.
So take a look. How do your numbers stack up? Are your current habits putting you on the PAW track or the UAW track? It's a really fascinating and, yeah, maybe a little sobering way to just check in on your own financial health.
All right, let's bring it all home. When you get right down to it, who is this book and this whole message really for? Well, this message is for you if you're making a good income, but you look at your bank accounts and think, where does it all go? It's for you if you care more about genuine freedom than what your neighbors think, and it's for anyone who wants a clear, proven roadmap to building real financial security, because you believe that discipline matters more than luck. And that really brings us to the final, most important point. The entire philosophy of this book, everything we've talked about, it all boils down to one powerful personal question. It's the trade-off that will literally define your financial future. Are you willing to trade looking rich today for the freedom of actually being rich tomorrow?